Jakarta Governor Anies Baswedan has decided to extend the period of large-scale social restrictions to the end of June. However, Jakarta is now entering the transition phase with gradual easing plans in place for several sectors. During the transition period, Jakarta will allow public places and services to resume activities, but only at half capacity. In the next graphic, let's see the sectors that are allowed to reopen and the timeline that provincial government has provided. So this is the schedule for opening public services during the June transition. In the first week, religious site, open spaces, public mobility is allowed to open, and then the second week, on week 2, offices, museum and parks, and next in the third week, in the week 3, malls, recreational site and zoo are allowed to reopen. The reopening of malls is part of Jakarta moving into transitional period of large-scale social restriction in June. Earlier, Jakarta chair of the Indonesian Shopping Center Association announced that 80 shopping malls across Jakarta has reopened after 3 months of temporary closure since April. To cope with that, some shopping malls have developed their own preventive measures. For instance, routine disinfection of all mall areas and have published new health and safety procedures for shoppers. But of course, it is more than that. There are other terms and conditions to be implemented. What are those? Let's see it through the data. Reopening of shopping center terms and conditions. The first one is maximum visitors of 50% from normal condition, and then limited operational hours from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And next, disinfectant spraying periodically, markings on all escalators and elevators, and then sick people is prohibited to enter the shopping centers. So in the food locations, there will be 6 feet social distancing marked on the floor, no more than 10 people in any restaurant, sanitizing every 30 minutes in high-touch areas, and all employees will wear masks in the restaurants. There are plexiglass shields being installed in front of all points of sale in the food court. Food area employees will fill out a health questionnaire before their shifts and have their temperature taken. In addition to standard COVID-19 protocols, several leading malls in Jakarta have adjusted their facilities to the new normal way of living. Malls such as Pondak Indah Mall and Senin City, for instance, have installed touchless elevator buttons to minimize the risk of transmission. However, Governor Anies said that during transition period, an emergency brake policy would also be in place to stop the reopening of malls if health protocols fail in cases surge. Therefore, let's see what are available health protocols in shopping center. Health protocol in shopping centers. The first one is hand sanitizers usage and then physical distancing by at least 1.5 meter. And the third one is face shield requirement and then glove usage for merchants and then temperature checking. This is the health protocol in shopping centers. Furthermore, retailers and shopping centers should run an extensive public relation campaign regarding their properties' health and safety standards to lure consumers that are still reluctant to visit retail stores amid the COVID-19 pandemic. According to a study conducted by Nielsen Indonesia, 84% of regular shopping center visitors say they will consider to visit shopping centers again once the pandemic is over, while only 67% of the regular visitors are interested in coming back during the period of new normal. As it went through a bunch of study, these are of course advantages beneath the reopening. Let's see it to the next graphic, And then advantages on shopping center reopening. The first advantage is income source for merchants and malls management. The second one is intense labor absorption, increased people purchasing power. So these 3 main points are the advantages on shopping center reopening in Jakarta. In short, the benefits are more to economic advantages, since retailers have been going through many difficulties and being in a small to mid-sized market. Some malls has to make efforts to bring the businesses on track. And however, chairman of Indonesian Consumers Protection said that Tulus Abadi concerned that reopening malls policy is too early. There are some disadvantages in regards to this reopening. What are those? As our research team has gathered it for you, let's see it through the next graphic. So this is the disadvantages on shopping center reopening. The first one is non-stop daily new COVID-19 cases as health risk potential. And then Indonesia's COVID-19 curve stays high, hit to higher point, and then potential health protocol violations while spread COVID-19 chains continue. So Indonesian Consumer Protection Foundation also demanded areas that are still applying large-scale social restriction are prohibited for reopening of shopping centers because the area with large-scale social restriction status means it is still included in the red zone with a fairly high transmission of coronavirus. There are good side and bad side. Most government officials made to flatten the curve of coronavirus infections, in which closing down malls resulted in a spike in unemployment the past months. So we hope that by allowing shopping centers to open, it will bring more good than harm for society. We hope shoppers will remain wary of the COVID-19 infection risk in shopping centers as well. So stay tuned on Market Headlines. We'll be right back after the break.